I believe there's a hero in all of us.
You have great powers, only some of which you have as yet discovered.
I'm a superhero, mother.
A real-life superhero.
The world needs extraordinary. We will make you a superhero.
Are you ready to become a hero?
Initiating surprise in 3.
This
2
is
1.
The Real Brian Show.
It is the show that gives you a positive escape from all the crap around you. Christmas is just 1 week away. Okay, is it me or did December kind of fly by really, really quickly? I don't know about you, but we're still waiting for snow. But in the meantime, we've got a special guest joining us today. Lots to nerd out on. Some new music. Oh, yes, including some unique Christmas songs to check out. And of course, more recommendations on things we are watching and consuming.
That's a Christmas present. Do you have Christmas in France? Christmas. Christmas.
Let's rock it! Oh my gosh. Welcome to the Real Brian Show.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas.
Christmas.
Do you have Christmas in France? Hi, French people. We've got French fries.
French dressing.
And for dessert, Peru.
Peru.
Oh my gosh, that is I forgot about that quote and then I found it and I was watching the movie and I just went, dude, we've got to use that, man. That is a classic right there.
Good pull.
Hey, Captain.
Cool.
Hey, Captain.
Hey, dude, what's up? What are you doing?
My
what
balls are dangling here. My Santa hat. Yeah. What are you wearing? You look like kind of like Yoda with a Santa.
Yeah, it's a very Yoda Christmas this year.
Good.
Yeah. Presents. Yeah. Right.
I'm laughing. I'm sorry. This is not a funny show. Stop laughing.
And I've got a lot of energy, so I'm bouncing a lot. So forgive me if I'm bouncing a little bit.
Yeah.
I just can't stop. So
that's great for you. I'm glad you're Yoda today. You are the wise one, all right? Does that work?
I am the wise one, yes.
Okay.
At least I'd like to think I am, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good for you, man.
I'm the older one, too, so.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway, welcome to the Real Brian Show. Thanks for joining us. It is so great to be back. Christmas is a week away. I mean, this is like a week from today is Christmas Eve. So for those of you who forgot that, it's Christmas already, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
And if you don't celebrate Christmas, that's okay.
Well, that's true.
But you still got to see it coming, right? I mean, how can you not?
I mean, I saw it coming, except for the snow. I mean, I look outside and I go,
yeah, that's a mixed blessing. Snow is a good thing for Christmas, right? Because it's a comforting and traditional thing in the Northern Hemisphere. But when it's not there,
but you can go out and you can bike and you can enjoy the beautiful weather, and you can
not worry about hitting other cars in front of you on the slick roads, stuff like that.
Well, I was going to say that doesn't really matter. People still hit people because they're on their phones. Sorry,
but not as often as if it were snow on the ground. So
the first or second snow, I would agree with you because then people are like, I forgot how to drive in a storm. It's
is that what they're like?
Yeah, seriously, they're just out there like. I mean, it's terrible, and I'm just like, I'm going back roads. These people, I don't trust them.
You're really high energy too tonight, dude. That's
I don't even know what's going on, man. I have had I think a quarter cup of caffeine today. That's about it. I think I'm just excited to be here. So do you remember the Real Brian Show? Really excited about life. That's the acronym. That's what I was told anyway. So I feel like it kind of fits. Yeah. Anyway, well, I think I need to stop here and welcome somebody because, some of you may not even have been born since this person's been on last. So I want to welcome back to the show. Let's see. She goes by Caffeinatrix, Natalie, what else? Trendsetter. Are you there? I mean, are you? Oh, there you are. Hello.
Oh, here I am.
Welcome back. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. Good to see you.
And on video with us. This is awesome.
On video.
And you
got to see each other.
What do you have
this
going there?
This is the first time I've ever seen Captain Influence.
Yeah.
No.
What did you think he looked like?
I had to build a mental image of what you looked like based off of your voice.
Everyone does. Yep.
And you don't look like what I thought. For some
That's what
reason, I
everybody
thought you were
says.
bald.
That's what everyone says. That's awesome. Because
you're not the first person.
I'm in my 40s, and I must sound like a bald dude. Yeah, but I have a mostly full head of hair. Can you see that? Oh, my thing came up.
Your hair's thick, dude.
Hair?
You've got like that Italian hair, man.
And I've said this before when I was younger, the hairstylists always commented on how thick, oh, your hair is so thick, it's amazing. Well, in my 20s it started to thin out, but it never continued to thin out after my 20s. So
that's good.
It's just stayed the same thinness since I was in my early 20s. So
which is still very thick.
I don't have the thickest hair either, so
my hair's very thick.
Better. It never has been. It's thin and fine.
What I want to know, Caffeinatrix, is am I more handsome than you expected me to be? Or
that's a she's gonna be like, I can't lie. So
just like as if you're speaking to an older uncle type of thing. Like, am I a handsome older uncle or just a uglier older uncle?
Or are you like, man, he's got to be one ugly dude? Or like, wow, his voice was sexy, and now I'm disappointed.
I honestly don't care.
Don't
care.
Wow, you guys are putting me on the spot right now.
Everybody should be put on the spot on this one.
Yeah.
The only thing I pictured was that you were bald and that you were cleanly shaven. That's it.
Okay.
So I didn't really have any other expectations, and neither of those were correct.
Right.
Well, there you go.
So,
I just don't want to be a disappointment. That's all.
I don't either.
You're never a disappointment.
Captain and I talked about this. As I said, when we get on video, people have only ever heard of us. That's it. They've heard our voices. What are they expecting?
Rewinding to our whole story of like meeting, when I had listened to the podcast, the Harbinger episode, and then you came into the store and you were like, oh my gosh. And I was like, what? Yeah, you didn't look like what I don't even remember what I thought you looked like.
What did you think?
It's been so long now, I don't even remember. Now you just look like yourself in my brain.
Well, I have to say, Natalie, you look exactly like what I expected you to look like. So
really? Wow.
Yeah, for whatever reason, you're more or less what I thought you'd look like. So
how funny. Yeah. See, and I only met you with your face, so it just
that's true.
Yeah. I know. I really hope that though people don't look at us and go, man, you're wow. I really pictured like
turn it off
here, and you're like, wow. Let's hope not. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I feel good.
That concludes the superficial part of the episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the deep stuff. What are you drinking? Yeah. Caffeinatrix, you go first.
You know me, I'm always drinking coffee and water.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
nothing interesting.
What
Nothing
kind of
interesting
coffee?
there.
What region?
But you know what?
What roast?
Kind of like, I don't know. Someone else made it for me.
Don't you have a roaster?
I don't know what it was. But yes.
Yeah.
And this time of year also actually, apple cider. So
yes.
good.
Oh yeah.
I've really grown to enjoy apple cider.
Speaking of apple cider, I think it's time to actually go make some. So actually, I'll be right back. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, I should have made some before the show. But I'm just drinking Adam's Ale again. So just plain ice water for me.
All right. That's too bad, man. Well, I got Candy Cane Lane finally. By the way, Celestial Seasonings, for whatever reason, their holiday teas have been out of stock. So I found this on Amazon. I got like 6 boxes worth. Oh, okay. Well, all right. So Candy Cane Lane. And of course, we found some chocolate peppermint tea, which is actually really good too. And then eggnog, of course, which I don't have any right now because I thought that's just going to ruin my voice. Because it's all, like really thick and you'd be like, hacking up,
Oh, God.
That's why you drink tea, But anyway, hold on. I'm drinking more. So I wanted to share this. My parents made a hot rum toddy, which I've never had before. It's like this, what is it? Like a dough concoction that kind of dissolves in hot liquid. And then you put rum and hot water and mix it up and it's all spiced. It's like spiced rum toddy.
Yeah. It's been years since I had a hot rum toddy, but yeah,
I've
never seen one made, but I've had one. So
yeah, and of course me, I don't drink alcohol, so I'm like, boil it out, woo, that's just, I'm weird, but that's okay. It still tasted phenomenal because I love the flavor of rum.
Yeah, he doesn't drink eggnog with rum.
No, but I love the rum flavor.
I don't drink eggnog.
Have you had morning fresh eggnog from Northern Colorado's best dairy?
No, I haven't actually.
So you haven't lived.
Is that the best?
It hands down. I mean, everybody has different taste preferences, but I can tell you right now that when I have had other eggnogs, it's kind of like, 5-star restaurant, and then everything else is like McDonald's. Literally, that's the difference.
I don't know. McDonald's has some pretty decent coffee sometimes. So
quite a difference.
Maybe we should kick the whole show right now. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. We had a flight that one of the coffee shops in town that roasts their own coffee. They had like these different, we're like, well, could we do like a flight of, like 6-8 ounces or whatever they are? So they did the white chocolate peppermint, but this is a good one. White chocolate peppermint mocha. It's not that sweet, but just a touch. Did I say matcha? White chocolate peppermint matcha.
Matcha. Yes.
That
fantastic.
Sounds much more interesting.
Yes. Sorry. When I said mocha, I was like, wait, what did I just say? Matcha.
It's the feminine of macho.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So It was a matcha drink. And then I roasted 2 decaf coffees. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, decaf is usually associated with old, crappy, whatever. Decaf I get is like the same coffee that everybody uses in all of the high-end coffee shops around here. It's just, they process them. So I found one because usually it's like you get a decaf Mexican or you get a decaf Sumatran, and that's all they ever sell. They had Ethiopian. They had an Indian monsoon Malabar, and I roasted both of those. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh! So I've been like drinking some
remind me,
decaf
what do they do to
the
beans to get rid of the caffeine?
Caffeinatrix.
Oh gosh.
You should know more than I do.
I should. It's been a while since I worked at the coffee shop. It's some chemical thing that they do. Oh my gosh, guys.
We're staring at you. It's we're trying to do, for those of you watching on YouTube, we're trying to do a little Brady Bunch thing, where you stare at each other in the picture frames. If you're not watching, you're so missing out right now. I'm telling you what. Yeah, there's a process. They have a CO2 process, the water process. They have something else that doesn't use any gases at all. I don't even know. Okay. It's like a newer something.
Hey,
great
as long
question.
as it works. I love
That's
decaf,
a great question. If it's done right and if it's a high quality bean to start with, it tastes just like a regular coffee.
Okay, yeah.
But most of the time,
finding a good
low
decaf
quality.
is very rare. It's super hard to find a good decaf that tastes good and yeah.
I've been drinking the Starbucks store-bought decaf, just their house.
Oh,
blend
get
decaf.
out of here! It's
fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah, but hey, I don't drink my coffee black. I put cream and monk fruit sweetener in it, so that might make a lot of difference.
Hey, at least
interesting. Well, I bet it would taste even better if it wasn't Starbucks. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
that's all I can find at the store.
2 coffee snobs here. I know you could order. Maybe I should roast you some coffee and send it to you.
Have you heard of? This isn't sponsored, but
I wish it was.
Have you
Where's
heard
our
of
money?
Beanbox before?
I
used to do it.
Beanbox?
It's like it's called Beanbox.
No.
And it's a subscription, a monthly subscription. You guys keep throwing me off every time you do that. And they send you, I think it's from Seattle, and they send you a box of like a bunch of different coffees to try, like whole bean.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I don't know, maybe there's like a decaf version, but it's not that expensive. And you get like high quality, like good coffees.
Okay. I would be into that, but I can only drink decaf now, so that'd be great if they can just do decaf.
Yeah, you should look into it.
Okay,
that's a good idea.
Okay, great.
We keep looking at each other in the boxes. It's fantastic. So anyway, yes, the decaf that I get though, the Ethiopian that I had tastes better than most regulars I've had. Period. It's amazing.
Oh, nice.
So it does exist. It's just you have to find the right one and do it right. Maybe I'll send you a sample.
Should send him some. Yeah. Look at us.
See,
in sync.
Good.
For Christmas.
In sync.
Yeah. Please send me something, Brian. Yeah.
What I really wish though is that Natalie, you would use your awesome Gene Cafe roaster.
Yeah.
And roast something too, because that's a beautiful roaster.
I need to do it. My dad actually roasted the other day. I don't know. I think
that's cool.
It's a little too dark for me. But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just in our garage, so it's up for grabs.
Okay. Wait, the roaster's up for grabs?
Yeah, well, to people who live in my house.
Oh, I'm thinking like, I'll be right over.
No, going to be gone tomorrow.
I've got this old roaster that is, I think, starting to go on its last legs. It's one of those, the entry-level roasters. They don't even make it anymore. It's kind of sad. I liked it because it has a catalytic converter in it, so it doesn't smoke your whole place up. And of course, although we have a window in our kitchen, so that's kind of nice. We can just like pop it right out. But the one I would love is that Gene Cafe because it's got the tube and everything that you can push out a window and stuff like that. And Oh, it's nice. It's nice. So I don't know though, because some of the lower end roasters nowadays are if you get like, oh, it's a $100 roaster, but it's kind of like you can't really control anything. So your coffee is at the mercy of whatever the roaster decides to do. Which if you want dark or light, or you can't really choose that very well.
That doesn't make any sense, but okay.
It's cheap. You get what you pay for.
Yeah, true. It's like a cheap espresso machine. It will give you coffee, but
it won't taste like
probably
espresso.
not consistent. It doesn't taste great. And then also if you have a bad grinder, that impacts it too.
Oh my gosh. I've got the Virtuoso, and that is one of the grinder, That's a really nice grinder. It grinds everything super evenly. It's nice. Yeah, you got like those Cuisinart grinders, that just the bean beaters.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, those are, I mean, hey, they're cheap and you can get them going and they do the job, but they can't really extract we're nerding out on coffee in a way that people are like, huh? But
Like,
I'm serious. It's
what's
like,
a grinder?
it really matters. The water you use, if you have high quality water or filtered, if you're using a high quality grinder, yada, yada, the beans, there's a lot that goes into this. And that's why people go, I can't make my coffee taste like that at home. There's a lot of reasons.
I've heard if you're looking for a machine, that you are supposed to allocate like 40% of your budget to the grinder.
Your annual budget? Holy crap.
Well, the budget for your machine that you're going to buy. I should have been more specific. But yeah, because if you get a really good machine, but then you cheap out on a grinder, the quality of your coffee is going to be like not good.
I've even read this. Some people say that the grinder is like, I use a pour over. I just have a little stainless steel pour over with a filter embedded in it. And it's like a French press essentially, except you don't get all the sediment at the bottom, but you do get all the oils. Like in a French press, you get the real full extraction, and you get the oils from the coffee, but then you also get some sediment. This is like everything like a French press minus the sediment, the way that it works, because there's no paper filter or anything. And it's amazing. Huh. It's cheap, but yes, the grinder is significantly more important. So anyway, anybody last minute Christmas gifts, thinking what I want right now, you can get yourself a grinder, a good grinder, or get, for your I don't know, your two-year-old or something like that. Two-year-olds love good grinders.
Yeah.
Good
times, man.
Yeah, especially a battery powered one. Yes.
Oh no, I'm talking about the full electric, man. Hey, stick your finger right. All right. So Natalie, Caffeinatrix trendsetter. What are we going to call you today? I don't even know.
It's up to you. Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. I have my cards right now. Sorry.
I'm partial to Caffeinatrix for obvious reasons.
I am too, because we've been talking about coffee, but you got to talk about what's new with you. I mean, we haven't had you on, like I said, 26 years. What's been going on?
Another quarter has gone by in school, which was less dramatic than usual. I have new roommates, which is great. No sign of the rats, which is great. Rolling it back to our last catch up. This last quarter, I actually was able to do a few transportation projects, which I never said like, oh, I'm not a transportation designer. I wasn't very interested in transportation, but then look at me go. I'm doing like 2 transportation projects. So I worked on a cockpit for a Gulfstream jet. Have you heard of Gulfstream before?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know my planes actually.
Jet,
yeah. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah. Luxury business jets, basically. For those who don't know, but they're very expensive. And so we were briefed with redesigning the cockpit of the plane. So that was a whole project that I did with a whole team, except there were only like 4 industrial designers on the team and the rest were fibers, which was important because we needed to rethink materials within the cockpit as well. But it was a lot of project for 4 people, but we got it done and we did a good job. I also worked on like a real life hovercraft.
Oh, so cool.
Wow.
Which is so cool. I think it's going for a photo shoot soon. So I should be getting photos soon. But yeah, it's going to have its like big debut over the next quarter. And then it's going to go on a tour to every high school in America.
Oh, wow.
What?
To be used
That's a lot of high
as a
schools.
recruiting tool. Yeah, I know. It will take several years to like complete its circuit, but it's getting a trailer so it can go around the country. So eventually it will be at my high school, which is so weird to think about. But
that's cool.
Yeah. So that's cool.
That's neat. So
That's
yeah,
really neat.
I mean, for Gulfstream and hovercraft, I mean, that's really, really neat. And
So
I knew
are
they
they-
were talking about doing the cockpit redesign anyway. I actually heard about that before I knew you were working on that. So that's really cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where'd you hear
It's-
that?
just, I'm interested in way too many things, as everybody knows, but I love planes too. So I was following somebody who was talking about the new Gulfstream, and I was like, cool, I think I could probably get one, like a TRBS Gulfstream, probably in 2022.
Maybe
because I was looking into that.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe an old 5.
Wouldn't that be fun? And we could all like record from the plane, and we could have
gosh,
like,
that'd be sick.
yeah. So, I mean, what are they, 70 million, something like that? That's not a big deal. We got a Patreon if anybody wants to help out, by the way.
Hey, what I want to know is the design your team came up with, is it being implemented?
Yes,
Well,
that's a good question.
So we had our final presentation, and they didn't really give us much feedback, to be honest. They were just kind of like talked amongst themselves. And so I was like, hey, how can we keep up to date with this project, like what you guys have chosen to implement from our proposal, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, well, you can just keep an eye on our LinkedIn and you'll see something in 5 to 8 years. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
Okay. That's all they would say. So I don't
okay.
know, but they were excited about a few things. We proposed like some things for the pilots to be able to control more of their environment, like airflow, like volume of their headset, lighting, like within the interior.
They couldn't do that before?
No.
Weird.
Which is kind of crazy because with the planes, obviously a luxury jet, they're prioritizing the cabin because that's where the client is going to be, all of that stuff. But for $70 million, you would think that it would be more advanced than like your car, but it's really the other way around.
Well, they are prioritizing, range and speed and other things like that, because they want to get them there quickly and make sure they've got enough fuel to get around the world and stuff. So they are doing a lot with that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, good for you. Amazing, good for you cool. For thinking of the pilots who, who transport the 1% from point A to point B. So,
the 0.1%.
For sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so maybe you guys will see something in 5 to 8 years
that would
on
be
LinkedIn.
Cool. Yeah. So then you drove all the way back to Colorado, and
I
you're
did.
home hanging out for a while.
I got a cold during finals week, but I didn't have COVID. So I was like, okay. So
That's
I drove all the way across the country with a cold. And I was like, man, if I can do this, I can do anything.
That's intense.
And then I got home and I got over my cold. And then I have another cold.
Oh my! What?
Wow.
Who'd you get this one from? Whose fault is this time?
I think so. We went to visit my grandparents, and that's in Oklahoma, and there you go.
Gotcha.
I think I got it from the plane or something. But
Captain's got a similar story too, though.
Fine.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh yeah.
Actually, coincidentally, I have a very similar story, except it ended up differently. So, last weekend, we drove up to South Dakota to see my dad and my brother and his family, and his 3 kids all had a cold. And they were, being little kids, they were all coughing, not covering their mouths when they coughed and coughing like at the table. They're coughing into the air at the dinner table and stuff.
All over the food.
Yeah, and my wife and I are looking at each other going, "Oh no!" So, and we knew it wasn't COVID. It was almost certainly a cold, and that's what they said it was. But I was supposed to come to Colorado the next day, and I canceled my trip because I didn't want to risk giving a cold to anybody before Christmas.
See, that is respectful,
so
by the
nice.
way. Yes, that is really, really cool and respectful. And a lot of people were like, so?
The trip was not absolutely necessary, and all I've done was postpone it 2 weeks. So now I'm just going the week after Christmas, and just to make sure I don't have my nephews and nieces cold. So
I'm bummed you're not here in the studio, but that was a good decision and very respectful. So thank you.
Everyone
seems
a superhero to be appreciative of it. Yeah. So
I appreciate that. Well, as a result, we have nothing to do this week because, you're not here. So Sarah and I have literally been like, what do we do? No, I'm kidding. Actually, we've been working our butts off hard. And
right.
It's funny because, we talk about what are we watching? I've been so busy. I've been working until 2 or 3 in the morning most nights. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. So I haven't been watching much, but we have been doing the Christmas light tours, which has been fun. We're finding some neighborhoods are putting out a lot more this year than they ever have, which is awesome.
Oh,
wow. And so it's been kind of like, man, we have to really go slow through all this because it's crazy. But where's the snow? I mean, it's like the other day we went for a bike ride instead of gone sledding. And I'm like, little shout out to our Colorado State Rams basketball team. They just this week ranked number 23 in the nation of all NCAA teams. And I don't know how many, they're still undefeated, and they're one of 6 or 7 undefeated teams still. It's so cool. I mean, that's like, I have a friend, by the way. Hi, Spencer. I just want to say, Blue Phoenix. Anyway, he and I were talking, and one year he's like, I went to Purdue. You could become a Boilermaker fan. He goes, CSU just never gets on the map. I'm like, I know.
Right.
So, it's like the top teams and all that. And of course, Purdue's doing very well. So congrats to them. But geez, it's
You're talking men's basketball or women's basketball?
Well, both actually, but men's is the one that's ranked 23. Women's is, they've only lost one game this year. And this is the best start they've had in a long time too. So It's kind of nice to actually see. Oh, and my Phoenix Suns, I've been a Suns fan since I was a kid, and it's like they're in, within the top 2 of the NBA. They're like back and forth with the Warriors right now, but it's so cool. It's like
the Warriors again.
I know. No offense to
at least
Warriors
we had
fans,
1
but
year off
I'm
from the Golden State
tired
Warriors.
of it. It was almost 2 years actually, but
okay, 2 years.
I mean, I've been a Suns fan so long, and they've been crappy for 10 years, and so it's like, hey, look at this! Like all my teams are doing well. It's kind of exciting. Booyah!
Booyah.
All right. What are you nerding
Nice.
out on, Calf? I'll call you Calf. Caffity.
Decaf.
Yeah.
Decaffeinatrix.
I can't call you Decaf.
So every Christmas and every break, I always try to stay busy. One, because I just get bored. I, of course, love the breaks away from school and having my time to do other things, but I always try to teach myself something new. So last Christmas, I was learning how to sew, and we're making blankets as a sort of word of mouth Etsy shop. And then over the summer, we started making furniture. We, as in me
That's
and
right.
Nico.
Yeah.
And so I taught myself how to upholster, and
Wow.
that's super awesome. And then now that I'm back, I've been making jackets out of repurposed fabrics, basically just old quilts that you can buy at the thrift
Interesting.
store.
Yeah.
And so I actually made the one that I'm wearing for those watching
Oh,
on
that's
the YouTube.
cool.
It has
You make your
YouTube.
own jackets. Wow.
See, that's so cool.
it has eagles on it, and on the
Oh,
back.
wow.
Here, I got to show you the back.
Okay. This is cool. We get to see a full on. Wow, look at that thing. That's cool. What is that? It looks like a
It's a
reindeer.
reindeer?
See it?
Is
There's a
it a
moose on the back.
Moose. Okay, I was
Oh,
like, is it
moose,
a
okay.
reindeer? I'm just thinking reindeer, but yeah,
that was
it is
not
moose.
a seamless transition, but
That's really
It
cool.
worked.
the back of my jacket.
Nice.
So, what kind of comments are you getting when you're walking around and people are just like, "Whoa, what is that?" Somebody said anything?
Actually, yeah, someone. I went to the botanical gardens, the lights at the botanical gardens, which was so awesome. I've never even been to the botanical gardens, which is crazy because I love plants, as you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, my friend went with me, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, what a jacket!" And I was like, "Yeah, I made it," and he was so impressed. And so people
That's
are
neat.
kind of impressed, but I'm also impressed with myself, and I've been making them as gifts and all of that, because when you repurpose those fabrics, one, I feel better because it's not it's kind of going to waste anyway,
Right.
technically, and it's way cheaper. I could get a whole blanket for $12, but if I went to Joann's or something to get fabric for one side of it, would be $30.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's cool.
So,
How warm are they, by the way?
pretty warm, because the quilts, they have a foam liner in between the layers, so they're pretty thick.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah,
as
yeah,
much
you
as
do
you
it.
like plants, the background in your room is conspicuously absent of plants. What's up with that?
Yeah,
Okay,
where are
well,
they?
Yeah.
There's this sad
Oh.
tree right here
Okay,
because no
okay.
one watered it when I was gone.
Charlie Brown tree.
I have my pothos plant up here.
Oh, there it is.
You can
Oh,
see it
okay.
Yeah, it's
The
climbing
screen
up
is,
the wall.
inverted, so I don't really know where I'm pointing.
We were talking
It's
about
like
inverted
it's like a
cameras.
newbie weatherman.
Yeah. And then I have a snake plant over there, and then all my other plants are not in my room. If
Okay.
I was in Savannah, they would all be in my room.
Okay, well,
And
we'll have
there's
to
a lot.
we'll have to have you back on the show when you're actually
I'll
in
have to-
Savannah, and we'll see all your plants and just talk to them
I'll have
instead.
to give a plant haul. I love my
Yeah.
plants. They're like my children.
Yeah.
They do the drive with me to and from.
Oh, that's impressive. How do they handle that?
Cool. They are pretty good. The winters are kind of tough because I stop overnight. So sometimes it gets kind of cold in St. Louis where I stop. But I try to just wrap them up in plastic bags so that they'll kind of humidify themselves and keep themselves
Right.
warm. But I haven't lost any to the drive yet.
Nice.
So
Good.
yeah.
That's cool. Well, I got to say that I'm extremely impressed that you have learned all of this from scratch essentially, and I mean, you've been able to actually do it successfully too, which I think is incredible because I think it's good to learn new things. In fact, it's so funny. You'll hear the people talking about how do you prevent Alzheimer's and dementia and those things, and they just talk about keep learning and trying new things and all that. And so it's like they keep talking about if people would start when they were younger, they get into the habit of doing that throughout their entire life. So I think it's cool.
Thank
Nice
you.
job.
Yeah, I'm always trying to keep myself busy and learn new things and add to my toolbox of skills. So, yeah, but
That's cool.
I'm gonna once I finish the one that I'm working on, I'm gonna go. One, I need a new headshot, but two, I'm gonna go like take some pictures of them and add them to my website, which is plugged down below.
I think your headshot
Gotta
right
plug
now
my
is
website
fine.
because I'm trying to get a job.
First of all, you got a good headshot right there. We'll just use that. Second of
Oh,
all,
just use that.
yeah.
Hi, Rez.
Second of all, the only way you can plug your website is if we get like a 50% commission or something like that. So
Oh, okay.
We'll go 30.
just
We'll go
kidding.
30.
You can, of course.
I'll make you a jacket.
Yeah, it's right below if you're watching, which is natalieshockey.com. You better spell that out.
Oh, okay. So it's NATALIE
We know Natalie.
SCHAAKE.com. The
That-
last name is the tricky part, but
Yes. We will put that in the show notes and in the description on the YouTube channel and all that. So make sure to go check it out and link to it. And that's pretty cool. I love
guys,
that. Yeah. No, I think it's great. I think it's
you.
really cool when people do stuff like what you're doing. So nice job.
yeah, thank you so much. And if you're interested in seeing like the hovercraft and stuff that I talked about, it should be on there by the time you're
Oh, good.
looking at it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Except the Gulfstream one is under NDA, so if you do want to see it, I can show you, but it just can't.
Can't be public.
No,
Yeah,
just
it has
show
to
us
be
a
like a
picture of the
private meeting.
plane.
Okay.
Show us a picture of the model plane. Which Gulfstream model it is, and that'll be enough.
Okay. Well,
Oh, that's a
see
neat
all of
plane
them.
she's working on.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
That's
Yeah.
cool. They have
That way you don't
all
have to worry about
windows.
your NDA.
Yeah, there you go.
True.
Yeah. You just take a picture off their website. It'll be like, hey, here it is. Well, that's
Yeah,
neat.
the
Well,
current
I appreciate that. It's nice to see, all the things you're doing and glad things are going well. Now, wait, when's graduation coming up? I know it's coming soon.
Yeah. So since we're on a quarter system, I have 2 quarters left, but
Okay.
basically it's pretty much a semester. I'll go from January through the end of May, and I graduate at the beginning of June. So
Oh, cool.
hopefully I'll have a job by then. That's the
Yeah.
goal.
It's coming right up. I can't believe that.
Yeah, I know. I
Dang,
feel like
that's crazy.
I
Yeah,
totally
weird.
was kind of gypped out of a college experience because of COVID,
Right.
but it
Yeah.
is what it is. And I
Yep.
still am getting my degree and graduating on time, and
Yep.
I still had a good time and I made some cool things. So
That's cool. Yeah, most of us have been gypped out of life for the last couple of
yeah,
years,
that's
and
true.
it kind of sucks. But although some people, like I said, yeah, they're doing whatever, they're just living life like normal. And
Yeah, that's kind of me. So
COVID
hasn't affected me
That's
very
not what I meant. I meant like the people that are out doing whatever they want. But hey, whatever. So
Yeah,
we have balance, and that's good. So, dude, I think it's time for an origin. We're continuing our Christmas origins. I know. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
It's been a while. It's been a week. No, I'm just kidding.
whole week.
It just feels like it's been forever. Anyway, we're
So-
doing Christmas origins. So, Captain, take it away, man.
So yeah, this week, I don't know how many people have heard of this. Have you guys heard of a Yule log before?
Oh yeah, and people make
Yeah.
fun of it too all the time.
Yeah,
Are
so
you,
I
like,
really didn't
Like in the
know.
songs?
Well, yes,
Like in
it's in the
Christmas
songs.
songs?
It's in the movies. People talk about a Yule log, and I don't have a Yule log. No, I would never admit that. But then there's like a Yule log cake too. That's
Yeah,
what
well,
I've
okay,
heard.
so I'll break it all out for you guys. Break it all down. So first we're going to talk about the log. Now, the custom of burning the Yule log goes back to and before medieval times. It was originally a Nordic tradition. Yule is the name of the old winter solstice festivals in Scandinavia and other parts of Northern Europe, such as Germany. The Yule log was originally an entire tree, get this, that was carefully chosen, brought into the house with great ceremony, and the largest end of the log would be placed on into the fire hearth, while the rest of the tree stuck out into the room.
Oh, interesting.
You had these people's houses way back centuries ago, where they'd have this whole tree. I don't know how. I mean, I didn't know people's houses were big enough to do this, where they'd stick the biggest end of the log, the bottom, I'm assuming, into the fire, and the rest of it would be sticking out. I mean, people would be tripping over it all the time.
I'm talking about like
I don't know.
horizontally sticking out into the room, not
Yeah,
vertically.
Yeah,
Doesn't
so
make any sense.
the rest of the tree stuck out into the room. The log would be lit from the remains of the previous year's Yule log, which had been carefully stored away and slowly fed into the fire through the 12 days of Christmas, which apparently is an old thing. It was considered important that the relighting process was carried out by someone with clean hands. Just all the little things that humans make up, you know? In Provence, it is traditional that the whole family helps to cut the log down, and that a little bit is burnt each night. If any of the log is left after the 12th night, it is kept safe in the house until the next Christmas to protect against lightning. In some parts of the Netherlands, this was also done, but the log had to be stored under a bed. In some Eastern European countries, the log was cut down on Christmas Eve morning and lit that evening. So everyone does it a little different. In Cornwall in the UK, the log is called the mock, and the log is dried out, and then the bark is taken off before it comes into the house to be burnt. Also in the UK, barrel makers, or coopers as they were traditionally called, gave their customers old logs that they could not use for making barrels for Yule logs. Now, the custom of the Yule log spread all over Europe, and different kinds of wood are used in different countries. In England, oak is traditional. That makes sense. In Scotland, it's birch, and in France, it's cherry. Also in France, the log is sprinkled with wine before it is burnt so that it smells nice when it's lit. That's a great idea. In Devon and Somerset in the UK, some people have a very large bunch of ash twigs instead of the log. This comes from a local legend that Joseph, Mary, and Jesus were very cold when the shepherds found them on Christmas night, so the shepherds got some branches or twigs to burn to keep them warm. In some parts of Ireland, people have a large candle instead of a log, and this is only lit on New Year's Eve and the 12th night. Interestingly enough, different chemicals can be sprinkled on the log, like wine, to make the log burn with different colored flames. If you all remember your high school chemistry, potassium nitrate equals violet color. So if you throw some potassium nitrate, it'll turn purple. Barium nitrate, apple green. Borax, vivid green. Copper sulfate, blue. And if you throw table salt on it, it burns a bright yellow.
That is fascinating. So why are people always like not proud to have a Yule log? I don't understand this. Like,
I don't know.
Seems like
I
just
don't,
kind of a random tradition. Nobody does it anymore.
It's a very, very bygone tradition, and one that originated in the pagan Northern Europe. So
that's interesting.
So are you gonna do it this year?
Yeah. No.
Oh, you're not gonna go chop down a tree?
But I do wonder if people
with the different colors.
There may be someone listening that does Yule logs still in their family, and I wonder if you can just go onto Amazon and buy little packets of borax and copper sulfate and all that kind of stuff, just for fun to go.
It would be,
just to chuck it on the fire and watch it.
You know what I miss? You know what I miss though is that like most of the houses these days don't have wood burning fireplaces anymore. Or if they do, most people have like converted them over to something like gas or whatever. But once in a while, I mean, I miss the smell. It's like, because, it's only been within the last 10 years or something like that a lot of them converted. But there's a part of town that I'll drive through and it'll be like, oh, somebody's having a real fire. And it smells good. And it smells like Christmas. And anyway,
the smell and the smell and the sound in the room, the crackling of the fire not in a camp setting.
I know.
You can put those on TV now. That's
I know. It just doesn't smell. It's like fake trees, you
just didn't get the smell. So now we'll talk about the cake. Now, a lot of people out there who have heard of a Yule log think of the cake that their grandma makes on Christmas or whatever. So the cake, also called a bûche de Noël, emerged in the 19th century, probably in France, before spreading to other countries. So the 1800s, not too long ago. It is traditionally made from a Genoese, generally baked in a large, shallow Swiss roll pan. I'm just going to make you hungry now. Iced, rolled to form a cylinder, and iced again on the outside. The most common combination is basic yellow sponge cake and chocolate buttercream. Many variations exist that include chocolate cake, ganache, and icings flavored with espresso or liqueurs. Yule log cakes are often served with one end cut off and set atop the cake, or protruding from its side to resemble a chopped off branch. A bark-like texture is often produced by dragging a fork through the icing, and powdered sugar sprinkled to resemble snow. Other cake decorations may include actual tree branches. Don't eat that, Billy. Fresh berries and mushrooms made of meringue or marzipan. And by the way, the name bûche de Noël originally referred to the Yule log itself, but was transferred to the dessert after the custom had fallen out of popular use. So back in the day, the French called the actual Yule log a bûche de Noël, a log of Christmas. I'm guessing most people, when they think of a Yule log, they're thinking of the dessert. So
I'm starving right
So
now.
the dessert is made to look like the real
yeah.
one. Huh.
They're like, we don't want to stick a log in the fire every year. Let's just make a cake and make it look like a log. That's what they did.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Fun for the
Sounds
whole
good.
family.
Yeah,
Go
Not
France.
very dangerous with all these chemicals and
Light the cake on fire too with the chemicals. Ooh.
whoa.
Yeah. There you
know.
go. So there's
I'm
your
starving.
Yule log origin, guys.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go make. It just sounds like a good dessert. I mean, I don't think I've ever had
know.
one, but that's amazing.
I don't know if I have either, but it does sound good.
I think I have, but it's been a while. So
Sarah made some good desserts, to give out to the neighbors and stuff. And oh my gosh.
You were like, don't give them away.
And that's what I said. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that looks
give them
terrible.
out to the
It was
neighbors.
so funny.
Neighbors
I
don't give me nothing.
I sampled something. I was just like, ooh, I don't know about this one. And she's like, what's wrong with it? I'm like, I said the texture's kind of weird. I don't think I would. I didn't actually say texture. I didn't say anything negative. I just said I don't think I would serve this to them because I don't think they're gonna like it. She goes,
And she saw right through you. Yeah.
And notice she didn't. She goes, oh well, maybe yeah, if they don't like gluten free, because that one was a gluten free one, and I was like, yeah, you should probably just let me eat them all.
Yeah.
And
then
she saw through it, and I was like, dang
yeah,
it.
shoot. You went too
So I
far.
lost it. I know. I should have.
Shoot.
I should have just broken them all. Like, oops, I dropped them. That kind of thing. They're really good
Lick
though.
them.
There's
Live and learn.
Gonna lick
dark
them.
chocolate peppermint. There's like a full fudge dark chocolate. Then there's a peppermint cookie kind of style with all kinds of good stuff in it. And then she did those little Buckeye things, which are really, really good. And then some chocolate brownie kind of style cake. And
Wow. A lot
I
of
mean,
work.
it is. But she actually loves. That's one of her things is she just loves to create concoctions like that and bake and stuff. So it's kind of fun. But it's a good thing I'm not eating all of those because I don't need to look.
Because
I need to look good now that we're on camera.
gotta avoid the diabetes.
Don't want damn diabetes. All right. Hey, Caffeinatrix, what's your top 3 favorite Christmas movies? I'm going to go with that.
Oh my gosh. Well, my number one is Elf for sure.
Okay.
That's like a tradition for my family.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Hey.
Hey.
Oh, pipe down over there. Every year on Christmas Eve, we have like a ton of traditions that we do as a family. And one of them is watching Elf. That's definitely my favorite one. I also like the ones like the old animated like stop motion.
Oh, yeah.
ones.
So like Rudolph and The Day Without a Santa Claus.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
the Abominable Snowman and like
Yeah.
all of those ones.
That's all I
That
watch.
kind of counts as 3 because there's a bunch of those
Yes.
ones.
Yeah. Does
Go with
Santa
that.
know you left the workshop? Yeah. Elf is up there for me too. I know you just don't like what's his name? Do you?
Will Ferrell. I'm just not a fan of Will Ferrell. I don't
my
dislike the guy. I just don't. His
Have you
humor
seen
does
Elf,
not
though?
do it for me, and it's just I don't know.
Have you seen Elf?
No, I've never seen it.
Okay, well then, dude.
Oh my
so-
gosh, you can't
know,
pass
I know,
judgment
I
on
can't
Elf.
judge
You haven't
something
even
I've never
seen
seen.
it.
So
I know,
Will
but it's Will Ferrell, so I don't want to see
but
it.
you have to understand that Elf is like a different side of where Will Ferrell than most of his
Yeah.
movies. And it's really
is.
good. Like Anchorman, it's okay. I
It's a
didn't like the
comedy,
second
but
one.
it's like drier.
Yeah.
You know what I
this
mean?
is
Like,
just
it's-
like
It's
he was
not like
caffeinated.
trying to be super like a comedy. It's trying
Yeah.
to be like a Christmas classic, and they ended up casting him. And there's actually this like documentary about it on Netflix. I don't know if you guys watched it, but
Oh, is it the movies
like
that
about
made us?
yeah. And
Yeah.
Elf is like one of the episodes, and they
That's
were
the one
talking about
episode
how
of that I didn't watch.
oh my gosh. Well, they were talking about how they casted Will
gosh.
Ferrell to be Buddy the Elf,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
how they got like a lot of like throwback or whatever word I'm trying to think of because
Pushback.
he was like pushback. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Because he was on SNL and they were like,
Yeah.
why do we want the main character to be like a comedian? But it is a totally different side of him. It's a really great
Interesting.
movie. You
All
should watch
right.
It
this
really is.
year.
I'll check it out. I'll
Report
check it
back.
out.
It is. In
I'll
fact,
check it out
it's
and
one of
report
the
back.
it's one of the better Christmas movies I think ever made. And
Clearly, everyone loves
honestly-
it. So
Classic.
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny and honestly, I couldn't think of anyone that they could have cast better than Will Ferrell. Truthfully,
All right. Okay.
So it's good,
I'll
it's
let you know
worth
what
it.
I think.
Did you see that they were trying to make a second one?
oh no,
And he said no, he
Good.
wouldn't do it.
that's
And I was
good.
like,
Really?
thank you, because if they made another one, it would totally ruin everything.
It really would.
Oh, okay.
It would. Well, I mean, my top 3 are, well, I don't know about definitely top 2 are definitely Home Alone and Christmas Vacation, just because those are, I don't know. But then it's kind of like there's a lot. So like I love the Santa Claus with Tim Allen. You know, that's a classic. Of course, Elf. Man, I don't know. That original stop motion claymation Rudolph is one of my absolute favorites too. I used to watch that as a kid all the time. So that's a good one. But the Christmas Chronicles movies, while they're kind of cheesy, have always been kind of fun too. You know, the new ones that they did on Netflix. Kurt Russell.
Right, with Kurt Russell, yeah.
Yeah, those were fun. So, you know, I've been watching a lot of those just kind of in the background, just because it's like I haven't had time to watch a lot of new stuff. And so I'm like, well, I can at least just kind of listen while I'm doing some work and stuff, which is nice.
No Hallmark movies on your list?
You know what? I mentioned one last week that was it's not Hallmark, but it was a Netflix kind of Hallmarky, which was Love Hard.
Oh my gosh. Was it about like some baker in the country? And
no, that's the thing.
They're
Actually,
all
it was
they
different.
all
I
have the
like
same
that.
plot line.
I know. It's like some city dude goes to the farm and falls in love with the farm life and, you know, ends up being like the ultimate lumberjack.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they go home and they fall in
so.
love with the local baker.
Yeah.
And it's
I
just
he's so hot.
it's
and
written in the stars.
Everybody is like chiseled, perfect. You know, they don't have any blemishes. They don't have an ounce of fat on their body. I mean, they're like the perfect models, you know, because we really want to teach the world that beauty is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we grew up on.
I know. And there's no way like the thing I don't like about those Hallmark movies is how completely unrealistic they are. It's like, but they try to make them realistic. It's, you know, you watch a movie like Elf.
I have never heard of a story in real life where some city person goes back and falls in love with a local baker in a small town. I've never heard that to be
it
true.
happens. It totally happens.
It seems
I've never
in the Hallmark
seen...
In the Hallmark
Really?
movies, it seems like it happens to like every single person because that's like that's what's supposed to happen to me. I guess I should just become a baker and some like cute guy
and just
fall in
wait
love
for
with
some
me.
hot city guy to come just magically appear in your bakery. Yeah.
Exactly.
What about
That's a good part.
Nico?
Is he a hot city guy?
Don't be
Maybe
dissing
he's the
Nico.
city guy.
I don't know. But he
Who
already fell in
knows?
love with you. So does that count? Are you a baker right now?
That's why I'm saying I don't think it's realistic.
Okay. I'm
Because
sorry.
that didn't happen to me.
I've never seen a Hallmark movie ever. So I don't even know what they're like. I have no basis
now
for
you know.
comparison.
That's
You know, it's so funny,
literally
though.
they're all the same.
I know a lot of people who adore Hallmark Christmas movies, and that's what they watch every year. And so we're not trashing them, by the way. I mean, we kind of are, but we're really not, because I just think I think they're hilarious. I have seen a couple of them, and I was just like, wow. You know, okay, here's the saving grace for me. Feel good. You feel good afterwards. That's the saving grace. But otherwise, I'm just kind of like, yeah.
That's what they're for. That's what I've heard they're for. Is
that's
their feel good movies.
Yeah, well, but a lot of Christmas movies are. I mean, Elf is a feel good movie, and you don't.
Yeah, but they always have a sad part. They always have like the bridge.
Yeah.
I hate that. Like, why can't
bridge
there
scene.
just be like a movie where like nothing bad happens?
Yeah, well, like It's a Wonderful Life, you know? The bridge scene. It's another bridge scene. My gosh.
Yeah, it's so sad. It like, I don't know. I know that's like the classic plot that each movie has to like follow to keep you interested, but I think I would still be interested if it was just like good all the way through.
I'm fine with that.
Hey, my 3 favorites are Home Alone, Christmas Vacation, and Die Hard. Those are my 3 favorite.
Die Hard. Duh.
Christmas movies,
I forget about that one. Die Hard's a good one. That's up there.
Yeah.
Nice.
It counts.
Well, I also put Better Off Dead in there, you know, because it counts as a Christmas movie
okay,
these days too,
then Die Hard. Better Off Dead than Die Hard, yeah.
Yeah, Better Off Dead is classic. It's just so dumb. Right. All right, well, a bunch of stuff coming up here, actually. I'm throwing this one out. First of all, The Witcher Season 2 is out Wednesday. So for those of you who are like, oh, let's do this, you know, we're gonna watch and talk about it.
Let the confusion begin.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the time jumps. Cobra Kai Season 4 is out on New Year's Eve, which I'm so excited about.
It can't get here soon enough.
I know. And then a couple movies, of course. Spider-Man No Way Home, the new one, it's out today in the theaters.
Nice.
And The Matrix Resurrections, which we'll see if it's any good, is coming out also Wednesday, streaming and in theaters too. So we're going to see where it goes, but that's coming. Now, you, Captain, you checked out The Expanse Season 6 a little bit. So how did that start off?
Yeah, just very briefly. Just one episode so far. It starts out with a bit of a whimper. Episode 1's mostly continuation of last season. Doesn't yet introduce the primary antagonist for this last season, and it's only a 6-episode season, so they better get with it. I'm just really worried they're going to try and cram too much into 6 episodes, and it's going to flop, kind of like what season 7 of Game of Thrones did with in most people's opinions. It just kind of fell flat a little bit, way lower than everyone's expectations. So instead of a grand series finale, it's going to be a bit of a series whimper out, just kind of a series
but
peter out kind of thing.
Well,
I don't know.
People have been kind of talking about the whole issue of what's going to happen with only 6 episodes and how are they going to wrap up an entire series that isn't done yet.
An epic series in 6 episodes. It's
too bad.
I'm crossing my fingers, but the whole situation's a little disappointing to me. So
yeah,
because that's a good series, dude. That's a really good series.
It really is. Okay, Hawkeye. Yeah. Now, you finally had a chance to check out Hawkeye, which I love, and I know I was talking very highly of it. And then you watched the first episode, and I was like, oh, okay. What did you think?
Yeah, so after the first episode, I was a little bit worried. It felt like what a Marvel show might look like on the Hallmark Network, ironically. And it just had a little too much cheese for my taste. However, the subsequent episodes have more than made up for this. The strongest aspect of the series so far is the chemistry, like you were kind of mentioning before, the chemistry between the two main characters. It's phenomenal. So if you can get past the first episode, and it's not that bad, it's just it threw me off a little bit. Episodes 2 through 4 were awesome. So yeah.
And you know what's funny is I liked the first episode, and it's funny because now we're talking about Hallmark movies. You haven't seen one, is what you mentioned, and so that's why I didn't think the first episode was very Hallmarky, because Hallmark is very different. But at the same time, you're right, there was a kind of a cheese factor to the first episode that I don't think any of us experienced or expected, I guess.
I have a general feel for what people describe as a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
So that's what I based my comment on, right? So
no, I know.
I think it's kind of common. I've heard other people mention Hallmark movie feel, and they probably have never seen a Hallmark movie. So
yeah,
I stand guilty. Yes.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying it's kind of funny that it was actually kind of like that. But you know, I'm loving it still. In fact, I just got through, episode 4. It was a 6-episode run as well for this show.
Oh, is it only 6?
4, yeah. And you saw episode 4 too. So one of the things you and I were talking about that I was hoping would be a part of the show has, and I'm very excited about that. See where it goes. But I mean, I don't know. It's interesting about this because it's typical Marvel action. It's typical Marvel movie, or I guess show. Sorry, I want to say movie, but it's a show. And it's also like really positive, really fun, and it's feel good mixed with all of that, which is, it's something I've been wanting for a long time, because I'm getting tired, and we've talked about this so much, but I'm so tired of the overtly dark content that just keeps getting pushed at us.
Right.
And it's like, it has its place, but I need something positive too once in a while. You know what I mean?
Well, and like you said before, it's a very Christmas show. It's very Christmas centric. So if you're looking for something Christmassy to watch this holiday season and you like Marvel, you can't do much worse than Hawkeye. So
I agree.
Or much better, I should say.
Yeah, much better. All right, well, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to wrap up with some music really quickly, because my goodness, time is flying and we got to go already. But Caffeinatrix, you've got some new music you wanted to share with us?
Sure, yeah. So I have broken it down into a few categories, even though there's only 3 songs, but there's a category per each song. So my most played this year from my Spotify was this song called Grand Budapest. It's by someone called Words Played, and it features Weatherman. It's like it's a happy song. I don't know. I can definitely get down to it. A throwback song I've also been listening to this year is Bills by Lunch Money Lewis. I used to listen to that in like middle school, and it's still a bop to this day.
Nice.
I love me some good throwback songs always.
I love what your idea of a throwback song, and ours is totally different. But go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's throwback too. There's like different ranges of throwback songs, I think.
There's like old school throwback and then like classic throwback.
Right.
Yeah, true. And then for Christmas, since it's coming up, aside from the classics, Oh Santa by Mariah Carey, I think is underrated. I can kind of get turned to that one. It has like Ariana Grande and like someone else. I don't know, but it's kind of a bop. But it is a good song. It's on my playlist.
Very
Aside
cool.
from the classics, I do love the classics and like the Christmas songs that are in Elf and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, so first of all, your songs are going to be in the show notes. They'll be in the description and all that below and everything like that. So if you want to go check those out, we have a Spotify playlist. It's the TRBS 2021, so you can get those from there. And I'm putting all the Christmas stuff in there as well, just because it's easier to.
You're gonna have to start at 2022 here in a couple weeks.
I know, isn't that crazy? I've had a lot where it's been. I think we started back in 2017 already. We've just been kind of going through the years and talking. All the stuff we talk about on the show is now in that, so you can go back and be like, oh yeah, this is the songs we talked about in 2017. It's pretty sweet.
Heck yeah.
I love it. All right, so I've got 2 brand new ones here that are not Christmas, but I'm going to throw them out there. Lacey Sturm, former lead singer of Flyleaf from way back, has a new song called Awaken Love. It's really good if you get a chance to check that one out. And then Aurora, I'm a huge fan of Aurora. I always talk about her. Heathens is awesome. So that's a brand new one. And then I was looking for something very different when it comes to Christmas because, like I was talking about, I love the classics and I just kind of listen to that stuff. But I'm like, okay, let's do something unique. So first one here is a pretty new one here from Pentatonics with Lindsey Sterling, which of course everybody knows how much I love Lindsey Sterling. So good. Got to see her 2 years ago. It was amazing. But you know the Over the River to Grandmother's House We Go kind of song that everybody used to sing as kids and stuff?
Yeah.
It's a version of this, but Lindsay's violin is amazing. It is so much fun. So check that one out. And then there's this guy, his name is Manuel. I'm pretty sure it's the same dude that I interviewed a few years ago, I think. But it's like, I didn't know he was doing this, gone off on his own, doing his music like this. Anyway, he has this like kind of hip hop version of Carol of the Bells and then also the Nutcracker. There's 2 different tracks on there. It's really interesting. And it's like traditional kind of in the background, but then it's like full on hip hop stuff. So it's really fun. I'm going to throw those into the mix as well. Check them out. There you go.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. Well, Caffeinatrix, it has been a pleasure having you on and just talking to you again and seeing your face too. I mean, this is like, I think the last time was like about a year ago since I've seen you like I haven't seen you in person for a long time. That's crazy.
I know it has been a hot minute. Well,
yeah.
I started the episode by saying that. Now we've come full circle.
We've come full
with
circle.
That phrase.
Yeah.
But thanks for having me back.
As always.
Yeah.
It's great that we can actually see each other now. We all know what we look like now. So
yeah.
Yes,
I know, because you guys didn't know. So that's pretty cool.
That's right.
Yeah. No, I only knew a voice.
And now you know the face.
That sultry voice like that.
the sweet sounds of Captain Influence. You know what that reminds me of right now?
Deep Thoughts with Captain Influence.
My dad's idea of a Yule log has nothing to do with wood or cake. I just wish his tradition didn't wreck our bathroom every year.
Well, you know what the music means. It is time to go. Thank you for joining us. This has been fun. Like, 3 of us here on video, having a good time.
Oh,
but
yeah.
My goodness. Thank you. So, realbrianshow.com for the show notes. It's /308 if you want to go specifically. Description below, all kinds of fun stuff. There's so much to do. So anyway, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining us.
Christmas.
The Real Brian Show is signing off.
The Real Brian Show is a production of 514 Media at 514mediaempire.com.